Hello, this is Sumedh Kaulgud and you're watching Healthcare Startup Series at Medicircle. Today we have Sumedh Kaulgud with us, and he is the co-founder and director at Maternal and Child Health InnAccel. So hi Sumedh, welcome to Medicircle Healthcare Startup Series.
Hi Smita, happy to be here.
So tell us more about your venture InnAccel and its offerings, because we have so many healthcare startups now. InnAccel, as you need to also tell us what does InnAccel stands for and what are its prime offerings.
So InnAccel stands for Innovation Accelerated. So we are an institutionally backed health tech firm, which is bringing disruptive technologies to bridge global healthcare gaps in maternal and child health and critical care. Our devices have the potential to save over 3 million lives annually, and we have a total addressable market globally of over $10 billion. Coming to our technologies, we have WAPcare, which is an intelligent automation of oral hygiene management for ventilated patients to establish a new standard of care. Secondly, we have Fetal Light, which is an AI-powered fetal monitoring device based on the next-gen fetal ECG and EMG technology, which is used for improving pregnancy management and labor monitoring. Lastly, our latest offering, which is SaaS. It's a full-stack infrastructure-independent, non-invasive breathing support device for both neonates and pediatrics for all treatment settings, including transport. InnAccel's core technologies have been granted patents, 7 patents across India, China, EU, US, Japan, and Brazil. We have 2 CE certificates and 1 US FDA certificate as well. We have completed 5 clinical trials with 5 more ongoing. Since launching in 2018, more than 800 devices have been deployed to over 120 hospitals across India, treating more than 25,000 patients. InnAccel products have also been exported to 7 other countries for local evaluation and pilots.
That's good to know. But as far as I know, that there are a lot of FHR, total heart rate measuring devices also, which is especially being promoted, especially in the remote areas where the doctor-patient ratio is not that good. So how is that in that particular segment, InnAccel is going to help such patients, especially in the rural population?
So one of the advantages of a fetal monitoring device is that it removes the user error. It is because we are using the next-gen fetal ECG technology, the user element from it goes away completely.
What is the USP of InnAccel over other medical innovation platforms?
Well, historically, India imports more than 80% of its medical devices. These devices are built in Western countries and are suited for their infrastructure. There you have constant power supply, compressed gas lines, highly skilled nurses and operators, along with optimum clinician to patient ratios. This resource intensive infrastructure does not exist in India and most India-like countries. This limits their adoption and utilization of these technologies here. Secondly, traditionally, Indian medical counterparts have been focused only on making low-cost versions or affordable versions of Western medical devices. So InnAccel started with a thesis to build innovative technologies out of India that can be used for low resource settings, which are prevalent in India, but are also technologically equivalent to Western counterparts. We believe cost-effective medical innovation can happen in next-gen India. Our thesis was further validated when our products got global certifications such as US FDA, European CE, and were also supported by global organizations such as IFC, World Bank, USA. And our technologies have also been showcased globally, including in prestigious institutions like MGH in USA, and very recently at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. 2 of our technologies, Fetal Light and SaaS, were recently included in WHO's list of Innovative Technologies Compendium 2022.
That's true. So, but what is like, see, there are so many companies where generally India is importing 80% of its medical devices. So like there would be definitely challenges, but as like after launching SaaS and especially this new product of yours, so how has been the customer experience and how many patients' lives you have touched so far? So what's the network, patient network?
Yeah. So, well, InnAccel products deliver novel clinical concepts or enable known clinical procedures in novel ways and settings. We have already over 800 devices across 120 centers in 8 countries, and we have touched more than 25,000 lives. We have positively impacted more than 25,000 lives. And these devices are installed in a wide variety of institutions, ranging from like top reference centers like AIIMS Delhi, NH Bangalore, or Raheja Fortis in Mumbai, to even rural and tribal areas of India like Kotagudam. There's a village called Kannur, Bijapur district. So one recently conducted pilot, of which we are like extremely proud, is the deployment of SaaS in Ethiopia. So it's like it's a very India-like market. They are very similarly placed in terms of infrastructure. So this pilot was funded by IFC and World Bank. So SaaS was the first digital CPAP deployed in the entirety of Africa. Before this, they were using mechanical ventilators. Now these mechanical ventilators have roughly a 50% mortality rate. So with the deployment of SaaS, within just a space of 3 months, we reduced the requirement for mechanical ventilation by over 80%.
Oh,
So this is the impact that our devices are showing on the ground currently.
and good that India is also exporting their medical devices to countries like Ethiopia, and we are making a big difference with our devices there. So that's one good thing that is happening in the healthcare innovation, and that is one what cause why we are conducting this healthcare startup series, just to make people inform about that even India in such segments, especially see India is already there in a lot of healthcare services and brands, but when it comes to medical devices, there are still lesser opportunities. And as a report by FICCI claims that India imports around 85% of its medical devices, which and then the market is worth $4.6 billion. And this list also identifies one medical Indian device startup company in the top 30 companies in the medical devices and equipment industry. So we definitely need more and more startups like InnAccel, so that they are promoting their products and offerings just not in India but also outside India. So, Sumedh, my question to you is that your venture has, InnAccel has also received a funding of $1.5 million from Mount Judy Ventures and others. So, how has the funds been utilized so far?
So these funds have primarily been used for research and development and for getting our US FDA and C certification, as well as the commercial launch of our portfolio. And we plan to further invest in rapid commercialization scale-up to drive our product uptake globally.
Okay. And what are the future and expansion plans of InnAccel?
So in the next coming years, our objective is to drive aggressive market entry across the globe, building on the traction that we have achieved so far. So for India, we want to drive traction through a dedicated in-house specialty sales team. And this sales team will be supported by a public project team to drive high volume public health deployments. We already have a few such initiatives ongoing with some state governments and some philanthropic organizations, which will help generate data to expand significantly on this initiative. For ex-India markets, we plan to identify and enter into distribution or commercialization partnerships with national or regional distributors for product registration, launch, and promotion. So we will be targeting this so-called full stack distributors or partners who have in-house sales, marketing, and distribution capabilities. So this will help us drive product trial and usage in reputed hospitals in key countries. We already have identified a few and already also partnered with some big business development partners across US, Europe, ASEAN, and African regions.
So any like as InnAccel is doing good and definitely great for especially the medical device segment, any message, any advice, any suggestion to all those fellow entrepreneurs who are also trying to build up their startup from scratch?
I think Indian market is ripe and it has a lot of opportunity coming up. After the COVID pandemic, there has been a significant rise in investment in both private health and public health and healthcare itself. The importance of healthcare, there has been a large realization amongst the entire population about the importance of healthcare. So there's a ripe opportunity for people to develop innovative, novel solutions for India, designed in India and made in India. So I think anyone who's looking to get into this field, the best of luck. And it's a tough business. You need a lot of perseverance and patience, and it takes time for the efforts to show. But speaking from personal experience, when you actually see the results of what you have built, and when you go there and see the impact on the lives that you are giving, and you see the person whose life your device has saved, there's no better feeling in the world. So all the best to anyone who wants to come into this sector.
Definitely. So thank you so much, Sumedh, for joining us today on our healthcare startup series at Medicircle. We wish you and all InnAccel all the best for, more and more consumers, so that they can touch more and more lives and save more and more lives, just not in India, but also outside India. Thank you once again for joining us.
Thank you, Smita. My pleasure. Thank you.